Hi, everyone. Welcome to the call. It's good to see so many people joining all at once. And there's even more people. So I'll keep hitting the admit all button because, it's like a little game to me to let in people as soon as I see them pop up. But we will start the call in earnest in a couple of minutes just to give more people a chance to join. And we have a lot of great things to cover. So again, welcome to the call, and we will get started shortly.
All
right, again, welcome to everyone who joined the call. We'll get started in just a moment or two. And it's good to see so many people on the call.
Wait, 24.
Yeah, welcome everyone. We'll get started momentarily. Hi everyone, we'll get started in just another minute. I just want to let a few more people join and then we'll get this rolling.
We have 50. Maybe we can get started.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the call, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join the monthly call of the YMCA Digital Services community. We have a lot of great things to cover today, and in particular, we're going to make some great announcements for Layout Builder and talk about the new release. So without any further ado, let me get out of the way here and turn the call over to Kylie and Shelly to get things started.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, we'll record this call and share it, so if you want it after the end, but we are very excited because today happens to be a dual day for us here on the core team. We had our September release this morning. Well, technically it's happening right now as we start pushing that out the door. And so that'll be done. And so you guys are going to get a sneak peek as we're sort of pushing that off on all the work that we have done. So I'm just going to get the screen share up here and we'll go through a quick agenda and then we'll walk through what that looks like. All right. As always, you can feel free to jump in at any point if you have questions or anything like that. If you feel more comfortable, you can use the chat to put that in, and we'll make sure that we're monitoring throughout. So today we are going to be going through the September release demo. This marks the completion of all of the Layout Builder. So at this point, every content type has been moved into Layout Builder. We have added a swack of new components and a bunch of different things. We're going to show you camp as well as the remaining sort of features and functionalities there. We have also finalized the design system, which will allow you all the creative freedom within your site to make those changes. Will we be making improvements from this point forward? Absolutely. Will we be doing betterments and bug fixes? 100%. But this marks the point in the sand of which we have officially migrated everything from paragraphs over to Layout Builder. And should you want to embark on redesigning your site in Layout Builder, you can do the entire site at this point. So that is available to you now. Outside of that, we're going to talk about some upcoming releases, just a couple of reminders about the portal and how you can get your ideas in. We want to ensure that we are supporting you in the best possible way and that those are coming. And then we have some exciting news about some upcoming point releases here in October, and then we'll move into any sort of questions you have. But again, as always, feel free to ask them as we go. So at that, I'm actively going to stop the screen share and give it to Stasya and Avi, who are going to be taking you through the following list of items together. So I'll leave it for them to bring it up, but they're going to go, Stasya's going to start with the layout builder version 3, camps, updated components, home, branch, location, alerts, and events. And Avi is going to take you through some of the UX improvements, the design system, some of the new CKEditor updates, which is your WYSIWYG, some of the SEO enhancements, and that is that. Thank you guys for bearing with us. All right, Stasya, let me turn this over to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining. So as Tom and Kylie mentioned, we have plenty of things to cover today. That's why I'm not going to waste much of your time. The detailed instructions and tutorials on how to use the new content types and new paragraphs will be available in our documentation. And today I'm just going to show you the basics of our progress. But in case I miss anything, please feel free to leave questions in chat. We will be more than happy to discuss them afterwards. Please let me know if you can see my screen. All right, thank you. Let's start with the camp and facilities content type. So in order to create the camp, we are going to create the camp content type. And similar to the branch, all you need to do is check the layout builder checkbox here in order to be able to use this, to build this page using the layout builder. After that, there are some necessary fields to fill in, like title, some contact info, some coordinates, directions, and this is how eventually the camp page will look like. The banner was pre-edited while I was preparing this demo content. And let me just 1 second. Okay. What's interesting about the camps is that there is a possibility to add the submenu and camp quick links. This is how it looks like. And I'm going to show you how you can create and edit those parts. So when you just create the camp page, if we move to the layout builder section, we will see that in the camp header section, there will be some pre-created blocks like camp quick links and the menu. And all you need to do is just to click the configure. When you are going to configure the menu or the quick links, there will be 2 options. One is to create the new menu, and the second option is to add the existing one. To create the new menu is very easy. Basically, all you need to do is just type the title and menu name. And after that, I will show you on the prepared content. Give me just a second. Let's configure the menu that I already created. This is how it will look like. And in order to add the links, you just need to click on the edit link button. And in this pop-up, you will be able to add new links. For example, link 2. Just 1 moment. And sorry, there is a problem in the Zoom. It doesn't allow me to save it. All right. And we need to update our menu. The same process is related to the camp quick links. And when we save the layout, we can see that the new link appeared right here in the menu. And again, just showing you how the camp quick links look like. Before we move forward to discuss the facilities, I'm going to show you some new paragraphs that were created for this release, the small banner and icon grid. This is how they look like, but let me take you to the configuration of those paragraphs. Let's start with creating, I will show you how to create the banner from scratch. So we need to add the new block. We are choosing the regular banner. And here under the styles, we have the Y styles drop down where you can choose the small banner variation. It has the same fields as a regular banner, but it will not display the image or the button. So there is no need to add the media or the button links here. And we are creating our banner just like this. Let's take a quick look at the icon grid as well. It's already created, so everything is pretty intuitive, no need to create it from scratch. I just want to show you that there are several options how you can display the icon grid. You can use 2, 3, or 4 columns. Let's switch to 3 columns and add 1 more item together. I can create item. Some description can be entered here, and we are going to save it. I didn't add any image here, but you just see that the third item has been added. I think we can move forward to the facilities. The concept is similar. We are just going to add the new facility to fill in some important information like title, neighborhood, branch, contact info, and then we are choosing the Use Layout Builder checkbox. After that, the facility page will be created. This is how it looks like. Also here on the facility page, we can see the updated amenities block. Just to remind you, this is how it looked before, and this is the redesigned version. There is also a possibility to add an image to this paragraph. Let's add it together to see how it will look like. We are selecting an image and updating the paragraph. Let me save the layout for you. And here, how the amenities look like with the image. Also, you can see that there are some pre-created alerts on this demo page. Some of them are located in the header area, some of them located in the footer area. I don't think that we need to stop here for a long time because this process didn't change at all. You just need to go to the Add Content section and choose alerts. And the information here didn't change as well. You just need to type the title, description, choose the colors for the backgrounds, for the text, for the icon, and choose whether you would like to place it in the header or footer area. In the end, there is also a possibility to list the pages where you would like these alerts to be visible at, or opposite, the pages which you would like to hide the alerts from. Also, we have made some changes to locations, branch, and event pages. Let's have a quick look at those changes. Please don't mind these icons, the alignment will be fixed. So the only one change that we made for the location is related to the hours, and currently on the location page, you can see the actual date. For example, today is Tuesday. So when you open the locations page, you can see the schedule for today. Let's go to the branch page. On the branch page, there is a functionality that will allow you to choose the branch as a preferred location. Currently, you can see here in the header area that we have West YMCA chosen as a preferred branch, but we can choose Downtown YMCA, for example, just by clicking. And here the button appeared that allowed us to change it. If we would like to change the preferred branch, we will have this nice pop-up that will allow us to go back and set another branch as preferred, just like this. And the last change I wanted to cover today is related to the events. So previously, when you are creating layout builder event content type, you couldn't fill the contact information. It was automatically pulled from the branch that is related to this event. Currently, there is a possibility that will allow you to overwrite the contact info for the particular event. In order to do that, we need to go not to the layout builder section, but to the edit section, sorry. And here under the contact info, let me find it. Where was it? Contact info. We can type different information, first name, last name, some phone number, and some email. And when we save the event, we will see that the contact info has been overwritten. This is basically everything I wanted to cover. So Avi, if you are ready, I can pass the microphone to you and you can share the screen as well.
Yay. Thank you, Stasya. That was a whirlwind of stuff. I'm going to attempt to be that efficient as well. I have a number of kind of back-end improvements and interesting all kinds of other stuff to go through. So getting started, this is the content page that you will often see when you're administering your site. There are some little blue headers here that you might have seen. These are advanced help widgets. They have different help text about your site, and so depending on where you are in the admin interface, you'll be able to see different advanced help blocks that they're called that show you little contextual help on your site. These had been there for a long time, but they hadn't been updated for a while, so we went through and updated a lot of the content in here. It now links to the new documentation, and it still has videos that are embedded videos that show you, that give you help for different sections of the site. So if you're spinning up a new site, you'll get those. If you are working on an existing site, you may have to re-import them. We've got some instructions on how to do that, but it's a nice little tweak on that will help you with the admin side of your site. Next up, on the editor experience, sometimes you'll be editing a page and somebody else might be working on it. You may have used this revisions tab, and the revisions tab previously showed you just a list of the revisions and the ability to revert them. We've added a small little module that gives you these radio buttons that lets you compare revisions. So let's say you're working on a page and you get a notice from a member that something is strange and you're trying to figure out what happened. You can go into the revisions now. You can select, I can see like there was a bunch of stuff that was done in the last couple of days, but I want to see kind of the original version. I'll check those two radio boxes and hit compare selected revisions. And now I can scroll down and no, this looks the same. Oh, here, somebody changed the branch hours and I can see that they're highlighted there. That can help you understand what's going on and what may have changed in your revisions. So that's a nice little tweak that we've added. Next up, back to the homepage. We were going through and we did a ton of accessibility fixes on the site. One of the ones that's a little more noticeable, we saw that there were a lot of buttons on the site, some of these, some in the alerts, that had their text as capitalized. What we've seen, what the accessibility guidance is currently is that all caps text is kind of hard to read. It works well for kind of large banners like this, but the guidance says that readability is reduced with all caps because all of the words have a uniform rectangular shape, meaning the readers can't identify words by their shape. So you can see here, text is a little bit more legible when it's not all caps. So we went through a couple of the places and turned off that all caps to make things a little bit more, a little bit easier to read. Next up, changing gears. Drupal 10 brought with it a new editor. So you may have heard CKEditor. That's the third-party library that Drupal uses to kind of power this what you see is what you get WYSIWYG text editor. When we moved to Drupal 10 in the last release, we kept the old editor because there were a number of changes that we're still working on. But with this release of the distribution, we've made most of those changes and updated most of the components and buttons. And so now you can use CKEditor 5, which is a brand new version of this editor. I'm going to take you through a few things real quick. Thanks, Andre. I will slow down a little bit. Yes, so a number of things in CKEditor 5. With CKEditor 4, pretty much everything you did came up in a pop-up window that kind of took over the whole screen. With CKEditor 5, when you change lots of things, you'll have this little smaller pop-up dialog. So here I can edit this link. And now you can see there's this contextual menu. I can open it up to have some advanced options. I can use this little tab to open a new window, and then I can use the checkbox to save that. That comes in all across the experience. This is an embedded image. So again, you can see there's some cool stuff in here for captions. I can link it. I can edit the alt text. So here's alt text that will come through for images. That alt text isn't added on automatically, but you have the option to add it everywhere. So there was a question in chat. As long as you add that alt text, it will show up for search engines. Speaking of embeds, in CKEditor 4, there were a bunch of different buttons to add videos and images and documents. That's all been consolidated into this insert media button. When I hit that, you can see I get a pop-up, and now I have the option to add different types of media. So I can add an image, document, a video, or a local video. So video is for like something from YouTube. Local video is a video that you upload directly to the site. Document could be a PDF or some other presentation that you want to upload, and images are there. So as you see, you can drag files there to upload them, or you can select from the existing images. You can hit insert, and that will add the image in here. Tables also have a new interface. There's a new table button that lets you add any size table you want. There's also, again, lots of contextual items here. So you can change the column settings. I can set a header column in addition to a header row. You can merge cells. You can also add a caption. There's super great accessibility for tables. And again, the standard buttons you expect here for block quotes, for lists, for links, for changing the headings, all of that is still there as well. So that is a brief overview on CKEditor 5. There's lots more in the documentation. Next up, I see a question in chat about adding schema to pages, and that is a great segue into what we've got for you next. So if you haven't heard of schema or structured data, this is kind of Google's documentation about it, but schema is hidden content in the page that is in the head and kind of comes in with a script tag that looks like this. The thing that you want to look for is this JSON plus LD if you're ever looking in your HTML code. But that gives search engines much better. It basically gives hidden structured data for machines and search engines to use to crawl your site and provide better information. So here you can see an example of a recipe. Google has lots of different things that you can do with structured data. So all of these different items are schema, different kinds of structured data that Google understands. We have, in this release, added a few of those to the site, and I'm going to take you through those now. So article pages, this is the new article page. I think we showed last time, this new article page supports a few different types of articles. Blogs, news, and press releases are the preset types. Those don't change anything within the design of the page, but they allow you to kind of tag things differently, and they also set different URL structures. So now when you create a new article, so this is schema.org's validator. So before there was no schema in here. This was the article type that I just saved. I'm gonna scan this with the schema validator. And now you can see we have a news article in here. So this will show you all of the structured data that Drupal is spitting out about this article. And again, this can help that article or news item show up in Google's like featured news items instead of just as a regular result. So this can really help with SEO and findability for your content. The next one, the next place we've added schema is on the branch pages. This is the landing page. So landing pages don't really have a particular schema, but one of the things that we noticed for the first iteration of our layout builder landing pages is that there was no metadata with those pages. So if you were creating a landing page early on and you didn't specifically add any meta tags to it, the page would just kind of show up, you know, in a social media embed or something with just the title and not much else. Now, when you create a new layout builder landing page, you'll see this metadata section. And this gives you a bunch of fields that help you fill in the metadata, again, that gets shown behind the scenes and helps populate those share buttons and other content in the metadata. So there's a short description and some help text that will help you kind of write a good description. There's also the meta image. This could be just kind of the first banner image on the page, or you could use it to set a different image that shows up in your share buttons. There's also a separate meta tags section here. This lets you dig really deep into customizing any metadata field you possibly could. It's hidden by default, so you generally shouldn't have to mess with those. But once you set the description in the image, now you can see this is another meta tag checker. Now you can see how this page might preview on Twitter and Facebook. It'll show that image and the description that you sent in addition to the page title and URL. So that should help sharing. If you're ever texting somebody a link to your YMCA site, it'll have a nice image and description now. Next up in the schema, we have the branch pages. So this is a really neat thing. Your branch pages already have a lot of structured data. They have the addresses, they have the hours, and that is all, again, content that Google and other search engines can use to show your members better data. So this is the branch page schema. So here you'll see the local business schema. And again, this is used by search engines in search results if you're looking for times. But this tells the search engine not just content information, but it also sends through the open hours. So when you set the hours or change the hours of your branch, all of that content will come over in this very specific schema that makes it a lot easier for the search engines and the computers scanning your site to read. Okay, one last thing in the schema, you'll see there's another item in here too called FAQ page. You very probably have searched Google for something recently and seen lots of results like, how do I join the YMCA? Or what swim classes does this offer? Google allows you to flag specific content in your page as frequently asked questions that can get highlighted as answers in search results. So we've added this functionality to the distribution as well. So here I've added an accordion block in Layout Builder, but we've got a new field here in the accordion if we scroll down. So we can see we've got our questions and we've got our answers. And at the bottom, there's a checkbox that says FAQ. This lets you flag an accordion as frequently asked questions. Not everything should be flagged for schema. If you have an accordion that has things that aren't questions, it can be detrimental to your search results to flag it as structured data. So you really only want to do this when things are structured as like a question and an answer. Once you check this box, again, that will show up as FAQs in the schema, and that will tell the search engines that you have specific question and answers on this page. And again, those will be highlighted in search results, like this, maybe. Okay, there's no example there, but yes, so that is all of the structured data in this release. Okay, last couple things from me. As Kylie mentioned, the design system got a huge refresh this version. We showed some of these things in the last demo, I think, but I want to take you through them live on the site. This is a landing page that I've created, and I've added a lot of the different types of banners here. So one of the things that we heard from sites constantly, from YMCAs, both from clients as we were talking in the community, is they wanted more customization, but they wanted it to be brand compliant and they wanted it to look good out of the box. So with that, we have built a lot of options into the system where you can customize your pages right in Drupal. So we have 5 different banner variations. So this is kind of the standard banner. This is what's called the overlay banner. This is the chevron banner. This is the frame banner. And as Stasya mentioned, there's also a small banner that just has a title and a description. All of these use the same content, and you can switch them really easily in your site. For this demo, I created a bunch of different instances of these, but if I want to change this standard banner, I can go into Configure, I go into Style, and this Y styles you'll see in a couple different places. It gives you contextual options for each piece of content. So for the banners, you can see there are 5 different variations here, and if you hover over, it'll give you a little tooltip showing you which one. We've also got some really helpful icons that I think are pretty awesome that help you figure those out. So you can select which variant you want. You can also change whether the buttons are filled or outlined. And so I will just make a couple of those changes, go back to content and update. And you can see that totally changed that banner without copy and pasting any content. So that's a really, really powerful way to customize your site. A couple other things we have, we also have a bunch of different card styles. So you'll see here, these are kind of the standard like white background cards, but I put together a couple other items here. So there is a overlay style of cards. There's a chevron style, and there's also this color style, which is kind of a dark background and the white text. All of these, again, are editable in the Y styles menu. So over here in styles, you can see you've got your card variations. You also have a bunch of different options for the border style, the button alignment, whether it's left or center aligned, the button position, whether it is kind of in line with the container or inside it, and the button fill as well. You can set all of those in each set of cards that you have on a page, or you can set them globally. On your layout builder pages, you'll see this Y styles dropdown that lets you change all of those styles as well as the color of an individual page. So if you want to use a different color scheme for a page or a set of pages, you just open up this Y styles, check that override box, change the color, and all of the components of the page will take on that new colorway. So this is a super powerful way to customize pieces of your site. And I think it's come out really, really well.
Absolutely.
Two more tiny things, and then I am done. One thing that the distribution had used for a while was a feature called Add This. It was a little social share icon. There was a little plus button and you could share to different social media. That service has terminated its services as of earlier this year. That means anytime if you have that social share buttons block on your site, it may have stopped working. It doesn't break anything. It just means that that little plus button is gone and it doesn't do anything. So luckily, there are lots of ways that people share stuff on the site, and we're going to be working over the next release to kind of come up with a few extra options to replace that. So finally, all this and more in the documentation. I've added some help text about embedding social media. This is different from the share buttons, but if you've been on the internet at all lately, you know that it's a very dynamic landscape in social media. So we've added some help to help you figure out how to share stuff on your site, and lots more in the documentation. More about the new content types, more about the layout builder options, and we're starting this how-to section with some more how-tos. And if you want to get all of the updates that happen in the next release, you can go to updates and see the release notes. That is all I have.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Avi. So as you can see, we've been busy. Very, very busy. And we continue to be busy. I'm excited to see in the comments the excitement around the additional styles. One of the things I wrote there, it's our goal within the core team is to continue empowering you guys as content editors. I know a lot of that was quite technical, but it's important that we share it so you understand it. And as we continue to empower the content editors, as you start to adopt these new styles and functions and forms and functionalities, let us know how we can do better. Let us know what else you need to feel more empowered as a content editor, with the goal of still making it brand compliant. We are working with our friends at YMCA and with our marketing department there to ensure that we sort of maintain that level. So that continues to be, oh, sorry, screen share is being a little bit of a turkey right now. Let's see if we can try again. There we go. And to continue to work on that. So a couple things we've got in our upcoming release section that we want to talk to you guys about. On October 24th, fingers crossed, and this is one of the things we are very, very proud of. We, along with VML and Marcom, which is the Marketing Communications Department at YMCA, have partnered in creating a set of demo content. Demo content is being a fancy word. They're building a fully functional site for you guys with available content, imageries, iconography, and text that when you adopt Layout Builder, all of these pages will be part of it. Home pages, who are these programs? They're basing it around a artificial association. For kicks and giggles, they chose Springfield because there's so many of those in the States. And we thought that was a really kind of funny one, but it's artificial. And most of the text and stuff that's in there is relatively generic. So if you're having a hard time getting going on a new website, it's a way that you could work with a vendor to stand up the distribution, and it would come pre-populated with content, imagery, and iconography that is free for you guys to utilize. And with a full set of page structures, it takes you a long way into getting moving into this site. Now, even the content is written relatively nondescript. There's some things, obviously, we would highly recommend you change. You'd add your own association names, branches, et cetera, et cetera. But there is a lot of storytelling components. They put a lot of thought into making some of that work, or putting content into place that you can adopt. So for those who find a net new site to be maybe a little bit overwhelming, this will help you get a long way. And for those who are seasoned professionals and just want to take advantage of some of the new imagery and iconography and things like that, there's also benefits to you as well. So big thank you and shout out to that department who's been working tirelessly to get this done. We are putting in a print release just because it's not quite complete. It takes a little bit more time than standard content entry, but we will have this out to you as we head into the fall at the end of October. That being said, we also then will still have a December release. So it's going to be a busy quarter for us as a team. Shelley, do you want to take us through what we're going through in our next little release here? You're on mute.
Sorry, I'm on mute. Thanks, Kylie. All right, so on our plate for December to wrap up 2023, we have some closeout work, I would call, on Layout Builder. We did decide to move forward with the program and program subcategory content types and moving those into Layout Builder, so that'll be on our agenda. We've also had a couple of issues with Membership Builder playing nicely with Layout Builder, so our team is working diligently on making sure that that works well for all of you. And then additionally, we're going to be including some admin UX improvements in. So any of you early adopters, any folks that have already gone into Layout Builder, maybe played around, maybe have some feedback for us, we'd love to hear what you have in regards to potential improvements, because we have plenty of time to include that in our future releases. In addition, we'll be wrapping up work on the design system, which will include work on a Canadian colorway for all of our Canadian folks. We'll also be including brand approved iconography in the distribution. We will also have colorway matching for the H1 to H6 tags. So if you go to YUSA's actual website, you can see they have colors that match their color theme that in H1 to H6 tags. So we'll be implementing that as well. And then we'll also be doing some admin UX improvements. So again, any of you folks who may download this recent release with this design system stuff, if you start playing around with it and you have any feedback or input for our team, we'd love to hear what you have to say. In addition, we have some updates and just general upgrade cleanup for the end of 2023, including Drupal 10.1, Drush version 12, and a Vue.js update. We've got some new features coming along as well. One will be a new promotion content type for internal advertising. So you'll be able to take these nice new Layout Builder components we have and place advertisements and timed advertisements inside them. And you'll be able to prioritize those advertisements. So if you have multiple ads you want to run on the same page at the same time, you'll be able to have that ad management system in your backend, be able to do that all on your own in Drupal. We'll also have some advanced filtering updates for Activity Finder, which will include being able to choose your start month, being able to choose a duration of activity. So if you have an activity that's maybe lasts a month, we could have some parameters to allow you some flexibility for users to select duration, along with some other items coming along with advanced filtering. And then we've also got a nice new feature for folks that may not have a schedules or Activity Finder integration currently, where you can manage schedules via the Drupal interface and then have a nice friendly display for your weekly schedules, along with a downloadable PDF as well. So this will be for some folks that don't have that more advanced schedules functionality. And then the last thing will be some improvements to the event content type. We've heard your feedback about recurring events, multi-day events, multi-location events. And so we want to make this handling for some of these edge cases for events a little bit friendlier for you guys, both on the content editor side and then also on the display side. So you'll see those improvements coming in December as well. And that's it for December. Just a quick overview for March and June. We're going to be focusing on community support, so associations and how they can use their websites to help support their local communities. We've got work in the line for donations, so making a more robust donations integration that you could integrate with your CRM. We're also working on a small template for a small site template for Y sites that maybe only have a couple of branches, some program content and other things, don't really need to stand up a massive site, but maybe could start to utilize some of the demo content, some of the components that we have out of the box, so we can create a quick template for people to be able to just stand up a site very quickly. So that's the general idea with that. And we'd love to hear your feedback on that. We also have a financial scholarship calculator redesign. We have a membership calculator redesign. And we're also looking for ideas surrounding volunteerism and volunteer opportunities. So if you have any upcoming campaigns that you think you have technology assistance that we might be able to provide, we'd be happy to hear those ideas as well. And in addition, we're also working on some potential marketing automation coming up for early 2024. So if you have any marketing automation needs, we'd love to hear about those as well. And as always, we'd like to remind you about the product roadmap portal website. We have had folks come in and submit ideas. Super, super helpful to us to keep us on track and help prioritize upcoming work. So feel free to submit new ideas, submit feedback on existing ideas, and just generally give us your thoughts on existing work as well. So there's all kinds of places in the site for you to give feedback on just about everything that we have available. So please give us your feedback, and that's all I have for today.
Yeah, and I think the piece that's really important to say about submitted feedback, we have a pretty high batting rate from why submitting stuff and it actually getting built in a relatively short period of time. So we're here to help and support and serve you. You guys have incredible ideas. You're on the ground, working in your associations every day. And so if there is something that would be helpful, put it in, because I would say we're probably about 90% batting rate of stuff getting kind of put in or getting reprioritized up because we'd already had started it, but had left it lower on the list. So thank you so much for that. We will share these links. As you can see, these are the product sites, just some links and stuff like that in these last few slides, and we have the community resources here at the end. Thank you for everything. As we sort of manage our way through these community calls, we're really grateful to continue to serve you and to work with you. If there's anything you need from us, please let us know. But outside of that, and thank you for all your questions in the chat. I hope we answered almost all of them. I think I went through and saw that all of them were responded to and answered there. If you aren't on the Slack channel, please join in. Again, that's where you'll get the reminders that these are coming, what will be going into the community call, so what type of things we'll be talking about, and then go from there. Tom, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't see any, I was gonna say new questions and then I scrolled down. Oh, that's not a new question, great. Again, I'll have this posted to our YouTube channel shortly. Please don't hesitate to email us at ycloud@ymca.net if you have any additional questions, and I look forward to seeing you on the next call. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Happy September,
everyone.
Thank you, Tim.
Have a great month.
Take
Thank
care.
you.